If I told you the reason you feel temptations for certain things and certain sins is very specific to what you're supposed to do.
Before continuing, I wanted to warn you guys their phones were being spied on. Click on this icon, then more. If you see it, delete it immediately.
So if you have the urge to smoke or damage your lungs, it's because your voice was made to worship. The enemy's trying to silence you that was meant to praise. If you have crippling self-doubt or insecurity, it's because you're meant to lead and inspire. If you weren't dangerous to darkness, it wouldn't try to mute your confidence. Yeah. If you have constant distraction and procrastination, it's because you carry strategy, vision, and ideas from heaven. The enemy delays you because he can't stop you, only you can. Now, this one's gonna hit a lot of people. Okay. If you have an addiction to lust or pornography, it's because you carry a deep capacity for intimacy, covenant, and healing. Perverting love is how Satan prevents true restoration.
That's true.
Crazy. Yeah. If you have fear of rejection or abandonment, it's because you carry a spirit of belonging and reconciliation. You were made to gather the outcasts, so he tries to make you feel like one.
Damn.
You have an obsession with appearance or body image. It's because you're meant to reflect God's glory, not the world's standards. So he's gonna try to get you to hate your image.
Damn. Bars though.
If you're drawn to witchcraft, astrology, or manifestation, it's because you have a prophetic gift meant for God's kingdom. The enemy counterfeits your gift to keep you out of alignment. If you struggle with overspending or greed, it's because you're meant to be a kingdom financer. So he wants to keep you broke so he can never bless others.
Follow for more Hoop conspiracy theories.
So how do you cause something to go from the future to the past? If I were at an intelligence agency and I heard there was a guy with the highest IQ ever recorded who was contradicting the liberal establishment agenda, I'd probably have a file on that guy. Have you had any run-ins with the...
Some interest has been shown.
Most of us have an IQ of 100, score in the 140 range, and you're in the genius to near genius category. 195 to 200, well, you're talking 1 in several billion people. Now, historians figure that Einstein and Franklin scored about 160, Darwin 165, Galileo 185, Isaac Newton 190. That means Langan could possibly be the smartest person in the world.
So for those of us who have an IQ that's a little bit lower than yours, I'll admit it, with no false modesty and no undue confidence, the first question we have to establish: does God exist?
Yes. The reality has an identity. Okay? The identity is that as which something exists. Okay? Matter of fact, when you say the word reality, you're naming an identity. You're identifying something. This.
I'm smiling because your answer on this is so beautiful. It just reminds me of Moses at the burning bush. And Moses at the burning bush says, "Who shall I tell the people that you are?" Talking to God. And God says, "Tell them I am that I am."
That's right.
I am identity itself. I'm being himself.
Exactly. That's exactly right. That's what the CTMU says. It just comes up with the mathematical structure that you need to build a reality out of that. You see? So you come up with that identity and then you search it for its properties. You see, once you built the preliminary framework, then you start deducing the properties of this identity, and you find out that those properties match those of God as described in most of the world's major religions. The reality isn't just geometric, which is what Einstein thought it was, nor is it just linguistic. It's a blend of the two, right? Russell saw it as being linguistic. Einstein saw it as being geometric. Okay, so I decided that reality must be logico-geometric, putting the two of them together. And of course, then I realized, well, I've got to put together a theory, construct a theory, in which reality is actually logico-geometric. And so that's where the CTMU came from.
And the CTMU is the cognitive theoretic model of the universe.
Cognitive theoretic model of the universe.
This is your theory of everything.
My theory of everything, and it's all in the name. If you take a good close look at that, you've got cognitive theory, and of course, you know, a theory is a kind of language, theoretic language, okay? And then you've got cognitive theoretic model, you've got a model, and then you've got universe. You've got a language, you've got a universe, and then the model is the mapping between them. CTMU says those are all the same thing. All of those terms, all of those properties are distributed everywhere over reality. Reality can have only one structure once you realize that and you implement it in theoretical form.
This is so important that you're not just talking about this siloed aspect of thought, or this, philosophy over here, language over here, math over here, physics over here, but you're presenting something that is universal.
Correct. Correct. Absolute and universal. To get the absolute invariance, the absolute truths of reality. Things that are true everywhere you go. No matter, at what time you exist or in what place you exist, it's the same.
So we're not just defining God out of existence. Sometimes you'll hear people say God exists, but they'll give God such a weak and shallow definition that the God that they're describing has no relation to the God that we conceive of. You're saying, no, this God is God himself is conscious and therefore personal?
Yes. You can establish a personal relationship with God. We're images of God. You know what an image is? It's basically the product of a mapping. God maps himself into each human being, right? That's a very personal thing that God is doing for us, right? And I don't understand how anybody can say that it's any different. We reflect the structure of the universe. Each one of us, we're carried by it. Everything we do, we exist in a medium. What does that mean? Right? Where did it come from?
Yeah.
What holds it together? What is the unifying coherence, the source of coherence of that medium?
Now, is your claim a pantheistic claim that God is the universe or the universe is God and that's that? Or
Yeah, Wall Street isn't about money. It's about children. It's about the government and fucking selling children. Okay, yes, money says. Now, like when I worked in the car business, they don't even need to sell all those cars. No. Because they're already paid by your straw man. You walk in there and sign a deal, your account is supposed to pay for everything in your life. Right. You don't work. There's no working. No. But they changed it in the 1900s and created the banking industry, which goes back to Phoenician times. Okay, they would tax you in one way or another and create banking in Phoenician times. You're talking over in the Middle East, okay? Yep. It goes crazy. Now, ancient Egypt isn't in Egypt. It's actually in the Grand Canyon. They don't want you to know that. Yeah, I suspected that. There is pyramids down there. There's pyramids in the Bermuda Triangle. That's why they lied to you about the Bermuda Triangle. It's a fucking lie. Because there's space stations down there. The extraterrestrials come out of our waters and go down to the next world. Right. Okay, it doesn't always go up through domes because you have to have a certain frequency to get through a dome. So a lot of them go down to the shoals under the earth of the whole plane of Earth and come up through oceans. We don't have that technology because we're only 8,000 years old. Right. They have it and have been fucking monitoring us since we were born. Right. But we don't know that because we're stupid and we pay attention to television. Yeah. So, yeah, that's a
Say every single holiday that we celebrate is celebrating one of the 7 deadly sins. Every single holiday.
Okay.
Think about it. The easiest one, Valentine's Day, celebrates the sin of lust.
Okay.
Thanksgiving, that celebrates the sin of gluttony.
Gluttony, yeah, because you're
eating a lot. You're overeating. You're taking too much of the more than you need.
Yeah.
Now, Christmas, what do you think that is?
Christmas. Greed?
Greed,
Yeah.
overconsumption, and excess.
Okay.
Right? Wanting more of something.
That makes
We're
sense.
celebrating gifts. We're celebrating gifts. We're not really even celebrating the birth of Christ because people are so focused on the gifts. St. Patrick's Day. It's sloth because
Why?
people get blacked out drunk.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. Now, Easter. This one's interesting.
I don't know.
The holiday of Easter. What sin would it be?
Easter. I don't know.
Check this out. This one gets deep.
Okay.
So they say it's
This is scary. You've all heard about the firmament theory. Well, if you haven't, stick around because there's footage. It's a theory that space is fake and no humans can actually leave the atmosphere. In the clip I'm about to show, a plane actually hits the firmament and crashes. Watch the clip. You see the side-by-side comparison with the water On the left side of the screen, it's a model plane to show the difference. You notice how the splash of the model plane in the water is very, very similar to how the plane exploded when it touched what we assume is the firmament. It's like an imaginary barrier that you can't cross, like something more powerful rejecting humans. I think it's interesting, but I also think it's very strange. I am currently live streaming these conspiracies. If you want to watch, press my profile.
The mystery of Area 51 is finally exposed. This theory is quite scary, so hold on tight. Area 51 is a place where the government interacts and experiments with aliens. It's considered the most secretive location on Earth. Rumors suggest that the U.S. government communicates with aliens for human exchanges in scientific experiments. By the way, to make sure that the U.S. government isn't tracking your phone, click Share, then scroll all the way over and select More. If there is an unknown app before your contacts, you should remove it. When UFOs crash on Earth, they undergo various scientific experiments by the U.S. government. However, the alien civilizations strongly dislikes this idea. The U.S. government proposed providing aliens with people every year to establish a deal. Both sides agreed, and that's why numerous Americans who vanish each year find themselves in Area 51, where they are sent to other planets for experiments.
Some random shit chat, but why? This is a conspiracy theory, cause I like conspiracies. Why is like one of the biggest broadcasting stations in the world, Columbia Broadcasting Station, CBS, their logo is the all-seeing eye. Columbia, right? Random. Then Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, is District of Columbia. Why? Then there's another one. Columbia Pictures. The movie Columbia Pictures is got the lady, I think Lady Liberty with the illuminating fire. Come on, man, I'm on to something, chat.
You know the Mars theory?
That there's aliens on Mars?
Nah, there's a theory that Mars was the original planet that humans were from.
Okay.
Then something happened that we all had to fly to another planet and live on. There used to be like civilization that lived on Mars. Now back this. On Mars, there's an element on the periodic table called xenon. Xenon on Earth is only found, this is crazy, is only found after a nuclear explosion.
No.
Oh shit, that's not even the secret mode button.
I said no. What the hell?
And it goes hand in hand now. What if on Mars there was a nuclear warfare, destroyed the whole planet, but people were able to escape just in time, landed on Earth, and they had to restart from nothing.
So we are the aliens.
We're the aliens.
What the hell? Yeah.
It's real shit. Like this element's called xenon. It's prominent after nuclear explosion.
What's a conspiracy theory that you 1,000% believe in? I'll go.
The conspiracy behind Wayfair. So I remember when this first was going on, a lot of people were all up in the air about it. Some people believed it, some people didn't believe it, and I happen to be one of those people that really didn't believe it. I thought there was no way that this huge corporation would use their website and certain items and certain coupon codes to possibly sex traffic kids. So I really never thought too much into it until one day something happened that actually changed my mind. So this happened about a year ago. So I work for a pretty well-known bank, and I remember we would always have this older lady come in, and anytime she came in, she would always do a cash deposit and immediately do a wire transfer. So one day I got a chance to help her, and I remember she did the cash deposit, which was like $13,000, all in cash, and immediately wanted to do a wire transfer. So when I started to help her, I remember the account number was written down on like a small piece of paper and the amount. So she was sending about $12,900 and like whatever cents to this account number. So I got to the part where I needed to type in who it was going to, and she told me it was going to Wayfair. And at first I really didn't think too much into it because she did have a business account, and I figured, well, maybe she's buying new furniture for her office or whatever. So after we were done, I started to go through her previous wire transactions just to see where all these other wires were going that she did prior. And they were all going to Wayfair. There was like 6 or 7 different wires that she was doing in the past like 60 days. And that's when I changed my mind. I knew that there was no way that this person that is always doing cash deposits and immediately doing a wire transfer afterwards to Wayfair, sending them thousands of dollars in 2 months, was buying furniture. There was no way. And I remember shortly after I reported the account, just for like secondary review or whatever. And next thing I know, she never comes in again. I never see her again, ever.
I'm telling y'all, they always tell you right to your face, wake up.
I can wear her skin over mine, her hair over mine, her hands as gloves, her teeth as confetti, her scalp a cap, her sternum my bedazzled cane. We can pose for a photograph, all 3 of us, immortalized. You and your perfect girl. I don't know when love became elusive, but I know it's no one I know has it.
That audio came out before this video came out. Or this video. Could she be referring to you know who?